Hi everyone, I'm sorry I kind of put this off for a day. I had a lot to do yesterday and I was at a friend's house and I just wasn't really feeling up to doing it. I was kind of tired, I had a long day. But I'm here today and I'm gonna actually finally be breaking the silence about this whole situation. And I honestly would like to give my input and give my honest opinion as someone who has been involved for 2 years and as someone who has known Bendy for 2 years, and someone who was a victim of the manipulation as well. I myself was not ever a victim of grooming or anything of the sort like Donnie, but I was one of his friends, and I was a victim of manipulation to the point where there was a situation that happened about a year ago where I don't really want to go into detail about it because I don't like talking about it very much, but basically Bendy and I got into a very big argument over something that probably we shouldn't have really argued about. It's kind of stupid looking back on it, but it really hurt, and it caused a huge split in our friendship. And after that, there were moments where, basically, I would have friends that I was friends with for a long time, who were also his friends, who would end up just completely switching on me, basically. And I had friends who, would basically... It's not really under his order or anything. He didn't demand them to do anything, but he kind of manipulated their mindset about me, and they would have their own ideas of ways to get revenge for him, and he would hype them up for it. Like, there was this one time, I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want anyone getting attacked, and I'm gonna say this right now, please do not attack Bendy or anyone who I name or mention or may mention on accident. Please, I am being serious about this. Do not send any hate to Bendy or anyone else who is mentioned in this video. I'll explain further later, but I had a friend, I'm not going to name any names, but they joined my server, my old Discord server, and basically, they had 2 alt accounts that they joined with, and called me a horrible person and a monster and just a bunch of mean things. And I later found out that it wasn't Bendy's idea, it was their idea, but they told Bendy, and Bendy basically hyped them up for it and didn't tell them to do it, but made them want to do it. And Bendy, he didn't say no and anything, but yeah, and so basically that's how I was involved in the beginning. And then Bendy and I, we made up, and I forgave him for everything, and and yes, I did forgive him. I have forgiven him, and let me say, I am still in contact with him, and I don't hold any grudges against him. And I would like to point out really quickly right now that there are certain things I'm not going to show proof of just because it's private conversations between him and I. But he and I have discussed this whole situation. We've had conversations about it, and basically, before I say anything else, I would also like to say, before I get into everything he told me about, I would like to point out there are some people who are completely misunderstanding this. Donnie, as of right now, is not 12. And their whole relationship was not recent. Their relationship was way back when Bendy and I first met 2 years ago. Bendy was 15, Donnie had turned 12, Bendy had just turned 15. I'm going to be repeating what he told me I am not going to be saying that you need to completely believe me, because take it as you will. But this is what I was told, and this is what, how... I'll show you proof in a second of why I believe him so much. I know that there's a chance he could be kind of stretching the truth, but you'll see. Basically, he said that the whole situation with him shipping Michael, or Foxy Bro and Cece, was a whole satirical joke from his gotcha channel, A Bunny, which, he is now very ashamed of. He said he guesses he took it too far. And, that the art, he never really said anything about the art, the drawings. I can't say anything about that. That is kind of weird. I'll say that was kind of weird. But, the whole theory about Foxy Bro and Cece that he had that, the "you are" meme based off of, that was a theory. I'm going to point out right now that was a theory. And I remember him telling me about it. He told me that was all entirely just a theory, and I remember believing it myself because of the hints and stuff that, we thought was in the game. Like, Cece hiding under tables, Cece crying anywhere near Michael, or not Michael, Foxy Bro, Cece crying when he was anywhere near Foxy Bro, Cece not wanting to be alone with Foxy Bro, those kinds of things. And, basically, that's, it was just a theory at that point in time. And, it was never meant to be a ship. I'll say this right now. It literally was never meant to be a ship, from my understanding. And again, this is my understanding. This is my perspective on the situation, and this is in no way defending anybody. I am simply speaking from what I see and what I have heard and how I have perceived it. And I would like to point out the manipulation and, the toxic behavior and everything that went on between Bendy and other people. Again, no way is this any kind of excuse for him, but I'm not going to be naming anything specific, but because, it's a bit private, but I would like to at least give the broad idea of, it's not a defense on his story, but it's a reason. It's pretty much caused by a disorder that he has struggled with for a while, and I have a family member that I'm very close to that has the same disorder, and basically under a extreme amount of stress, people with this disorder can lash out and become manipulative and stretch the truth and lie and become very irritable very easily and quickly, and they can switch on you very fast. And that is pretty much what happened between him and a lot of people. And again, it's not a defense for him, it's a reason. And again, I have a family member I'm very close to who has the same disorder, so I'm speaking from what I have seen myself from my own experience. So, And also, I am now going to go on to the whole thing with text messages between him and I. These are just screenshots that I will be showing you, and it's just simply explanations and apologies from him and what he wants you guys to know. And this is my end of commentary, and just take this as you will.